ஒரே ஒரு 5 லிட்டர் இதய மந்த்ரா கடல் எண்ணெய் பேக் ஒரு மாசம் முழுசுக்கும் அத்தனை சமையல முடிச்சு விடலாம். இதய மந்த்ரா.
Capitalism with the heart, and America stands for capitalism with the heart, or prosperity for everybody. But it's already there in our scriptures. Yeah. Of course, the Vedas talk about Saiva Siddhanta. I want to bring Saiva Siddhanta because it's from Tamil Nadu. Yeah, because Shaktism, Saiva Siddhanta was instrumental of Bhakti movement. So I just wanted to bring that. So I thought you should explain that because that's a beautiful thing which you've coined actually. Yeah. Can you please, maybe they would...
Coming to the Saiva Siddhanta you are talking about, no?
Yeah, yes sir. An exploitative capitalism.
See, look, I'm not a scholar of the Saiva Siddhanta, but as you mentioned, I studied Tirumantiram, you know. Yeah. Origin of the Saiva Siddhanta comes from the Tirumantiram. Saiva Siddhanta, present Saiva Siddhanta in Tamil Nadu is a Traitavadi, Pashupati Pasham, you know. But Tirumantiram talk about non-dualistic Advaita. Unfortunate part, not many people in Tamil Nadu knows about the Tirumantiram. He was the greatest of scholar, mystic, philosopher. Coming to the relating to the Saiva Siddhantam, there was a conference in Malaysia. They invited me to talk on this. I told, look, Pandey, you know, what is the source, you know? Pandey Astadha, you know, which is Sanskrit grammar. The origin of all these is, there is a tradition ki Nita Avasane Natraj Rado Nalad Dhakka No Panchaparan means Siva. Dug, what is it? Udugu. Damru. We call it Damru. From their alphabets came, you know. That alphabet I, Rig, I, Yoch, Havarat, Lan, Yamanganam, Chavaya, Gada Dasa, Jaba Gada Dasa, Kappa Chatata, Chatatava, Kapaya, Sasasar Hal. Based on the Sutra, Indra wrote grammar. That is a very big book, you know. And based on the Indra, Pandey wrote Panini grammar, and based on the same Indra, Tolkapia wrote Tamil grammar. So, you know, course is the same, and our tradition is the same. Unfortunate part is that our people don't understand all these knowledge in deeply sense. If you are studying, because I studied in a grammar school, grammar in the Gurukul, where we follow all the traditional sense. So, in terms of principle, of Shaiva Siddhantam or Vedantam, there is no much difference, you know. And especially when you compare Tirumantiram and Advaita Vedanta Sankara, they are very similar. And their principle with the coming to the prosperity of the society is the same. Prosperity of the society is supreme. They are not talking about the poverty in the society. Our even the Shaiva Siddhantam and all our saints in that parampara are very clear. But unfortunately, nobody talks about this knowledge, you know. Sorry to say, many people are more busy nowadays growing hair, you know. So once I was giving lecture, look, we need qualified, talented, educated sadhu coming to Saiva Siddhanta, parampara, talking, articulating the philosophy. But I don't see that, you know. I see more busy, all external things. That is not going to help, you know. This is what I will request people here. We should invest in attracting talent in the system, therefore we'll have a resurgence in the system, because these are all our treasure and knowledge.
That's brilliantly said, sir, because I don't think nobody's connected that everything emerges from Indra, and Trimula always says that. Another interesting point Trimula says is that, one of his hymns is that he says, ஒரு அரசர் வந்து அறிவில்லையோ கரிசனமோ ஒரு கரிசனம் ஈகை குணம் இல்லைன்னா அவன் ஏமதர்மக்கு சமம். That means if a king who's a ruler doesn't have educational knowledge or wisdom, doesn't have empathy or magnanimity, he is considered equal to be a Yamadharma. This is brilliant, which connects to the sutra, what Swamiji is mentioned.
Similar thing is mentioned here.
Mentioned that. So it's just amazing that how our scriptures connect all these factors, right? And Tirunjana Sambuddhar was a great Tamil scholar. And all the Aruthi
Tirunjana Sambuddhar is not just a Tamil scholar, he is a great saint and a realized man, a scholar.
Yeah, of course. But we need to say that he's also a Tamil scholar, so because it's very important.
A scholar's word is very a smaller thing also.
Yeah.
A scholar thing is very a smaller thing for him.
This is going to the second sutra, so because defeating enemies, all these factors, and of course we went against the US and did the nuclear testing in '98, and that's very important because in today's warfare we need kind of deterrence, deterrence is very strong, and escalation dominance, they call it in security studies, where when you have a nuclear, if you have enough capabilities of arsenals, then as always enemies are going to be threatened by it. So that's beautifully you mentioned, brought in all the scriptures into that. So I think you should elaborate on that too.
See, any society, nation, if defense is not strong, defense first depend on your economic strength. Economic strength translate on the military strength. And this is what I have mentioned. Economic strength translate in military strength. Based on economic strength, you need to have maintain your strong army. All the arms of army means then supply, technology, armament, fortification, and salary of a start, everything. If you have that strength, then only you will be able to protect. Otherwise, more stronger enemy will destroy you. So all your prosperity, your culture, tradition, even freedom will be no use. You will be losing. So this is what I have explained here.
Also, I like the fact that how you mentioned that Indian kings lost because of the principles, honors, integrity. That they don't want to.
See, here I will tell you, the problem is that we become too civilized.
Yes.
We become too civilized. And see, in our kingdom, our king used to fight, That fight was not like enemy, that was like a tournament, that was like our exercise, You need to prepare. But our people have started dealing the same like a tournament, friendship tournament as the enemy, That is the biggest mistake. We started in the same principle which we were also fighting among themselves, that as an exercise, a tournament with the enemy. So enemy is the enemy, we must deal with the enemy like enemy, not like a friend. And this tournament culture should not be dealt with the enemy.
In terms of quality of education for all, but it's very interesting. America really talks about the university system, how they created research and development through that. But we had that history, so it was completely eradicated, plundered out, taken, changed, altered by the colonial powers. So that's very important that you.
What you mentioned, America, look, you know that California is the fourth largest economy of the world as a state,
Yes.
How it has happened? 60 years ago, one governor came out with a plan, California Higher Education Master Plan, In one stroke, they created 10 top universities. They are known as UC California, Berkeley, UC California, Irvine, UC California, Los Angeles, like 10 campuses. Then they have 23 campuses of that is a state university, where one of the state university you studied. Then they have community colleges. Now that time the California population was not even 1 crore. That time they planned. Because of this education system, the talent from across the America, across the world came there. And California became first Silicon Valley, then computer Silicon Valley, Hollywood, and what you call Hollywood, Alan? Hollywood also is there. Disney World, everything went there.
Entertainment,
everything. Now California become rich. So education is very important. Here I have mentioned everything. I don't want to go in detail. It will take some time because education is.
Las Vegas also there.
Yeah, Las Vegas also.
That's in Nevada.
Nevada is nearby. But see, this is how. You see, I am telling you. See, at the moment, 1.8 million students are going out of the country for a study. What is happening? The total money going for the country for the paying only fees is $80 billion. Forget the hostel and food costs. If you save that money, we can build 100 IIT annually here. But our politician has not planned. But they are busy in all this. Sorry to say, my junior was this Kejriwal, this fellow, all freebie culture. Your Tamil Nadu has a more freebie culture. I know this time cinema, TV, all those there. These are the people destroying the country. We should be spending on these critical infrastructure, that's education, healthcare, which you are not focusing.
It's a good point you mentioned, sir, because about the UC systems and all these university systems we created.
We have 5 IITs, that was big thing we used to think. See, we are 100 more, 1,000 million population. Whole 5 IIT is not working, We need to 100 IIT,
No, but that's because there's more universities are created in family trust here, right? When the US, they really contribute, right? The endowments are created, that's where research and development happens. Like Carnegie's created Carnegie.
But because this is all happened because US has inheritance tax.
Yeah.
If you earn money, you give back to the society, not to your children. Your children are not worthy. Here, we are earning for even 7 generations. And those fellows are not worthy and we are giving them. There is saying, I don't know how to explain in Tamil, there is saying in Hindi, let me try, I will try to explain in English, If children are worthy, there is no need to earn money. They will earn the money. If children are unworthy, there is no need to earn money because they will destroy you.
Anyway, turn it away. So in terms of responsible democracy, that's very important because they say democracy started with the Westphalian system in Germany, how the state sovereignty, all these concepts came in, then international theory concepts of realism, all these things came in. But it looks like democracy has always been there in India from ancient times. From Chalukyas, Guptas, Cholas,
Even prior to that, even Chola is a very old,
yeah.
And even Bhagwan Buddha time there was democracy.
Yes. Yeah, so I wanted to bring in Manudi Chola, right? Because he's the ancient Chola who ruled Tiruvaru, who talks about justice. So it's a very important factor which even Peripuranam mentions about that, Shekala's Peripuranam. And I also wanted to allude to the fact that how Indians influenced as a piece called by Han Shi, the famous Chinese scholar who wrote about Indianization of China. I think you read that.
Yes,
published in Harvard.
Who she? He published his article in the Harvard Tricentennial Memorial Publication.
It's a beautiful article, so I think people should read that. So because when you look at it, the Chinese do look up to the culture, impact, they trade with Pallavas, Cholas, so all these factors are there. So which is all, again, international laws and roles were established by Bharat and trading communities. And it's all very clearly, beautifully elucidated by Swamiji. So in terms of women, he's already mentioned that. And nature and care, always don't abuse resources, natural resources. And water bodies, he's mentioned about how riverbank settlements have been amazing. Right? It's entire world civilization has happened based on rivers. And Ganga is such a pure mother which connects with everybody in India and way up to Tiruvaru, which is the heart of Tamil civilization. So these factors are there. So Sir can...
No, here I just want to mention, you mentioned our international trade and Chola, all those things. I'm not talking about 1,000 years. Even 60 years ago, 70, till Second World War, we Hindus were dominating trade and commerce in the Southeast Asia. Singapore, Malaysia, Indonesia, Vietnam, Laos, Cambodia, Vietnam we were dominating. Post Second War we lost, I will tell you, because I was first, before becoming Joint General Secretary, I was looking after the Asia Pacific zone of the Hindu culture. So we Hindus were always attacked regularly. In Malaysia we were getting attacked, temple destroyed. So I told we are only 8-9% of Malaysian population and largely poor, They are mostly from our Tamil Nadu people, So I told how to work to safeguard our interests. So I created a concept, let's Dharma people should come together. Hindu, Buddhist, Shinto, Tao, Confucian. The 5 people who follow Dharma, Hindu, Buddhist, Shinto, the Japanese, Tao, Chinese, and Confucian Chinese. And Malaysia, Chinese are fairly 35%, and they are controlling almost 80% economy. So we have a very good conference, and before the conference, one Professor Khan, who became my friend, he was a leader of the Taoist community, he introduced me like a big audience. Look, there was a time our master used to come from India, We have lost contact. Again, master come from India, let us unite, let us work together, So one day we became very close friends. I told Professor Tan, you Chinese are not as smarter than us. How you control entire Southeast Asian economy? We were controlling here, but now you are controlling. You see, from Bharat to Japan, if you look at South Korea, all the economy is Chinese economy. How you control? He told Swami, you fellows are individually smart, not collectively. When we mainland China become communist, then we overseas Chinese started our own business association, and in that system, he told me, one Chinese trader will come, that fellow will inform these are the demand available in the market, and then Chinese banker, he told we were not banker, we were Chettiar, Reddiar, and Mudaliar, they were all banker here, and European were banker, we were bank employee, These bank employees will come and inform these are the firstly available in the bank for credit and loan. One investor will come and put money, engineer will provide technical know-how, one fellow will go in processing. After this processing, production, traders will output still. This is how we in 30 years we control a wealth cycle, and in that process, we have started attacking you. Not as a by danda, on business economy. You have started retreating. There was a time you fellows, you were all Tamil Nadu, Chettiar, Reddiyar, Mudaliyar. These people were, dominating the business. They were employer, we were employed. Now we are employee, you are employer. We are employer, you are employee. And that I have seen. I used to go in Malaysia. There is area Jalan Kasipilli, where our Shiva temple was there. Jalan Kasipilli. Kasipilli, Tamil Nadu name. Pillai, Kasipilli. And Jalan is lane. Now this whole, in my own life, the whole area has become Chinese area, which was 100% Hindu area. And he told me, look, there was time your Tata truck, Ambassador car, Usha fan, everything used to come from there. Because you have your supply chain here intact. We destroyed your supply chain, now we are controlling. Even you have a big company like Tata, Birla, they can do, because supply chain is our hand, So that is very, very important. We need to organize ourselves in the modern time, then only we can regain our lost glory in terms of business and economy also.
I also wanted to allude to the fact that Burma, Myanmar, we have at least, I've been to Rangoon about 10 years back now as a Janta government. There's 100 Kabalishwar temples, Saisla Shivan Koil, Rangoon lives there in Rangoon. And of course, all the land and all the trades, a lot of the cultural influence has always come from the Coromandel coast into Burma. So Burma was a hub. It was called for Commonwealth colonial time. Yangon was like a New York City in 1980s.
It is like a Manhattan.
Yeah. So it's a beautiful place, and hopefully it opens up again. But amazing temples. I've never seen temples like that in deep Burma and anywhere else and stuff.
On the border, if you go from Bharat, which is now Manipur, this side is Tamu, that side is Morris. You just cross the river, you can see the temple there. And built by all Chettiar, mostly Tamil Nadu people. You can see all big Gopuram.
The Mariamman temple, Brixford Mariamman temple was built by a person called Narayana Pillai. That's a national monument. He was the first investor into Singapore. So Inga Nagarata has built a lot of the temples in Burma. So I also wanted to explain the World Economic Forum, what you want to do.
Ask some questions. Please.
Anybody else wants to ask questions, you can, I think, ask them.
You also mentioned about the economic part of it, wherein the tax has to be put in a way it adds to the businessman's wealth as well.
Yeah.
But on the other hand, as it considers the consumer's point of view, it looks into one part of the supply chain. But how about the consumer part of it, about the affordability?
See, therefore, the taxes should not be that much. They have mentioned taxes should not be more than 16%, so that affordability of the consumer is considered.
Wonderful. And another one, when I talk of women's integrity, etc., maybe since the film producer is also there, nowadays if you look at it, woman is shown as a sexual figure more than a human figure. Will that trend change? If you look
I don't understand what you are telling.
If you look any movie, drama, anything.
Woman is shown as a sexual figure.
Yeah, this is objectification of women. I always tell you can create as many laws unless you teach respect for women from the society, culture, education, children. No law is going to help you. I will give example. See, for time being, sorry, anybody, ladies, they should not get offended. For time being, think that our ladies are not that strong and fighter. They are very, sometimes considered weak, that. But you go in America, American ladies compared to they are fit and strong, because they are free, but come from their point of view. Go in American Academy of Defense, American Academy of Defense, they are all soldier women. There you will find 12,000 sexual assault on the in their academy, because the American fellow are not teaching respect for the women, So unless you teach this thing in society, will not happen. You go in America, I don't want to go in all those third class data. In American, campuses, all the top Ivy League, I'm telling you, 25 to 35% girls are sexually violated on the campus. Because there is no respect for women. At least our society, even something happened, we react, we protest, Still some sense is still there. We need to stop this objectification of women, in the name of so-called equality. Equality is must, You have not created them. What is the difference? X chromosome, XY chromosome. Only two things, only differences. So, therefore I mention highest respect for women, respect is important.
Can it come at the school level itself?
He should come to the school level, he should come to the first home level, then he should come to the school level, he should come to the university level, he should come to the policy level and all the TV, cinema, society, office, everywhere.
Swamiji, two questions and a quick comment on that. Swamiji, the only thing I found in Sharia law, in the Islamic countries, only one good thing is, for rape, within 1 week, they cut off the head in public. I know it's terrible, sounds barbaric, but I feel if you have a powerful deterrent, Sigmund Freud talked about severe deterrent, then maybe less women.
No, I disagree with you. This is only the law. I disagree with you. This is only written in the law. But you go and see how many rapes are happening in Bangladesh and Pakistan even now, even for their own Muslim men, where there is a, what is called, beheading, nothing is happening.
Something's happening, Swamiji. I had actually seen that.
Saudi, one exception you are giving me, the whole society should be like that.
Swamiji, a specific question, there's more like in the right, I'm a surgeon, some part is deceased, we cut it off.
Yeah.
So I feel this deceased fellow should be cut off. And be done.
I agree, I fully agree with you.
Like jail. But so seriously, two questions, Swamiji. Question one. We have seen in the last 11 years, from the 11th economy, we have grown now to the 4th economy.
Yeah.
So we are getting somewhere, we're doing some things right.
Yeah.
We're working both top down and bottom up. Where do you think we are lacking? I mean, obviously you say there's lots more to go.
Yeah,
Where is that?
more important thing, our bureaucracy is big bottleneck, our judiciary is big bottleneck, and there are archaic law, more than 10,000 archaic law, there should be even one stop they should go, you'll be surprised, I'm not a businessman, many, because I deal with the World Economic Forum, many factories, those who run the factory, they have like a fire safety. What is fire safety? As per law, you have to keep bucket with the water, sand and mud. And nowadays there is a fire extinguisher. What you are talking about? No, if you don't give, you have to give them every month. They will come. You have to give it in envelope. This is how the corruption is happening. So these laws should be completely destroyed, and this bureaucracy should be our business. There is what is the license Raj has gone, but inspector is still there. We have to destroy this inspector Raj.
No, but license Raj is still prevalent in China. The state-sponsored capitalism, right? So it's very strong there still.
Swami, और एक किताब लिखना पड़ेगा. Just on judiciary also, like this one.
Judiciary is also.
How to find the birth notes at home, all these things. Second
These
question.
are all uncle judges.
Swami, second question. We talked about freebies. Freebies are destroying politics, destroying economy, destroying everything. Maybe you should add something or tell us, as administrators, as legislators, as maybe parliamentarians, how can you make a difference and bring down freebies? Can you put it, America's got cap in some states. You cannot say so.
In a country like us, here election also you have to win. One thing I will give you simple example. During this gas subsidy, all the rich fellow were also getting gas subsidy. Narendra Modi bhai came, he requested you should give up your gas subsidy, and therefore he helped 10 crore household with a free gas cylinder. So same way we have to do. We have to win the election also, but same time also we have to stop this exploitation of the by politicians for their both purpose, destroying our economy.
Thank you so much.
Swamiji, namaskar. See, I am a bit worried about our Tamil Nadu of late, very much on the drug culture here. The drug culture is going very fast. It has even reached to the level of school level. And even I came to know recently in Madurai, there is a elite bar for women. They have kept a elite bar for women. Whatever we talk more about the culture, we talk about our Hindutva, we talk about more about the retrieval of our culture in our nation. Somewhat, whatever you mentioned about the last glory part, as long as this mind is not in a correct sense of mind, because of this amount of element of toxin on with them, how are we going to convert them back to civilized nature, not getting into the so-called drug infusion in this country?
See, drug menace is very big, and many places politicians are very much involved in this business. Recently, our DJP of Punjab mentioned there is very much evidence against Majithia. He was involved with the drug. See, politicians, somehow we need to expose this. If politicians are very much supporting, getting benefiting the drug business, and they are destroying our society. This is very, very dangerous for, as a society as a civilization is attacking our very existence and foundation of society. For that, as a whole society, we will rise against and protest, and we need to stop this.
ओम नमो नारायण स्वामी जी।
Om Namah Shivaya.
आप सबों की अनुमति लेके मैं हिंदी में पूछना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि जो हिंदी में हम लोग बोल सकते हैं
ठीक है, पूछिए ना, ऐसा कोई
तो फिर
समस्या
बाद
नहीं।
में चाहिए तो उसका ट्रांसलेशन हम लोग इंग्लिश में करेंगे। जैसे आपने कहा कि महिलाओं को हम मातृशक्ति के माध्यम से देखते हैं, हम देखते हैं कि हमारी महिला एक मातृशक्ति है, तो वो एक शब्द के अंदर ही इतनी ताकत है, और आज वो शब्द का पूरा, जैसे आपने कहा कि मिसइंटरप्रिटेशन हुआ है, रॉन्गली अंडरस्टूड हुआ है, तो वैसा ही आज धर्म जो स्वयं एक रक्षा है, धर्म स्वयं एक शास्त्र है, धर्म एक स्वयं रक्षा है, धर्म एक शस्त्र है, तो इसको किस तरह से थोड़ा सा आप अपने नजरिए से समझाने की कोशिश करें।
ऐसा है, हमारा शास्त्र तो बहुत वेरी क्लियरली है मेंशन इन बुक वाट्स महाभारत से उपाध्याय दशाचार्य सतम पिता सहस्त्रेण पितृन माता गौरवेण तिरुचिते मीन्स one principal is greater than the 10 teacher. Upadhyaya is one teacher. You know, one principal is greater than the 10 teacher. One father is greater than the 100 principal, and one mother is greater than 1,000 father. That is how the respect is ingrained in our society. But unfortunately, after TV serial, I don't see. But this is how they are destroying the even respect for that. Once Vijay Palan told me, Swamiji, I saw this TV serial in Tamil Nadu. Son is slapping to the father. That day, so our culture is gone, you know. I told, these are all cinema fellows doing, we should make some Paramatma should give some sense, you know, so that they can put some correct thing in our society. These are not our culture, you know.
Swamiji, but that is where the mothers-in-law, only in the TV series, they learn how to poison the daughters-in-law.
This is see, I don't know from where this is coming. I have never seen this. Never happened in our society. From where all this dhagada is coming in the TV serial? We have never seen in our home like this.
स्वामी जी, तो ये पुनरपि जन्मम पुनरपि मरणम जैसे होता है, वैसे ये पुनरपि कैसे लाएंगे कि हमारे शास्त्र का जो सच्चा शब्द है वो कैसे लाएंगे?
What I will tell you, I was in Brisbane, you know, one Tamil boy. I am mentioning you as Tamil boy because little dark skin, he was facing some sort of discrimination in the school, and he used to attend our cultural heritage school that is called Vidya Vihar in Brisbane, you know. So he told me, Swami is telling me when we Hindu will be respecting this word. Huh? You can understand, 10-year boy, when we Hindu will be respecting this word. I don't know, this is a very heavy question for your age. Huh? I don't have a magic answer, but I can tell you one thing. My generation is to work hard using our mind, material, intelligently in the right direction for the next 20 years. Then we'll hand over to your generation. Your generation also has to work hard using your mind, material, intelligently in the right direction. If these two generations work hard, we'll respect this world. Same when all our society issue, as a society as a whole, combined, we have to work to address this, then we can bounce back. We have bounced back previously also, again we will bounce back. That is my intention and that is my request to all.
Namaskar. My name is Mahesh Mehta. Tolerance is the virtue of religion, and I see that greatly in Mr. Sendil sitting over there when there have been comments on the television serials and the TV serials Madhyam, of which also he is associated a great. I would like to know his views based on Swamiji's context or out of the context matter. Thank you.
I just want to give
What role does it play, in your opinion, in today's world?
It does. It does play impact a lot of role. Right? Because a lot of drugs emerge from when you make it cool, when you make it in thing to do. All these things emerges from movies and stuff. So because we've been making movies since 1940s, including my grand uncle Kalevan and his Krishnan or whatever. Or made a lot of movies in MGR. I mean, MGR never had a film. Never had a film with alcohol, with ill-treating women. That's why he was such a mass leader and he was the most iconic person in India. That's why, in terms of, then there was a thing, and even Rajesh Khanna also had that to some extent. So these factors are there. So we have done movies which are family-oriented movies, predominantly, television series. I don't think that stems from how people are looking at perspective. Right? Like as you said, freedom of speech is taken to another level. and left for certain elements of where you want to talk about whatever you want to talk about, right? So that's morally right, not right, we don't know. So the creative freedom is something which people express a lot. In America, it's there. So.
Is it an illusion?
No, it is. It is. I'm just saying it is. I'm not saying it, but it stems from a lot of these things. When these top directors they talk about something being cool, which is illegal, and then that is what spoils the society. Right? It affects the society.
I will here add you. I don't know Telugu properly, but we watched one movie, Sankarabharana, by Vishwanath. One famous old man, he passed away, who got the Bauda. That movie is a simple movie, but even you don't know the language, you will understand, And that movie, without making it any superstar, paying so much money, and it becomes a super hit movie. Movie should become a healthy entertainment for education purpose of the society, not to destroy the society. And I will give another point of view, This is 20 years ago, there is a famous book by Thomas Friedman. He wrote, The World is Flat.
2004.
2004. He asked that time Bill Gates, what is the secret of the success of China? The Bill Gates replied him, the Bill Gates of the Britney Spears of China is Bill Gates. As per him, means you are all third world country, your role model all Hollywood or American dancer, pop singer. But he told no, for Chinese, Britney Spears is not the role model. Successful Bill Gates is the role model of Chinese. Therefore, China is progressing. Then he asked, why America is declining? He told the Bill Gates of America is Britney Spears. I should be the role model for America, but I am not. The Britney Spears role model, therefore America is declining, So you have to understand who are our role model to inspire our generation.
That's a very good point, because Chinese are very serious people, right? Because I've done a lot of business with Chinese. When you look at it, for them, they look at icons. They look at somebody like President Nixon was such an icon for them because he came and opened up. 82, China's GDP was lower than India's GDP.
Yes.
Today they're 4 times or 5 times the size of India because of the fact that they used America to grow. So.
Here coming to on the addiction, I have mentioned in the book, page 125. Avidya vinay purusha vyasnesu abhinito hi vyashan dosan na pashyati. Uneducated people. I'm not uneducated. Don't think that by just degree you are educated, It is just certificate, Uneducated people may become addicted because they do not understand the profound harm of addiction. So we need to educate them properly what this addiction is going to harm you, Yeah.
Swamiji, you spoke about archaic laws that India has and all that, and since we have gathered here under the aegis, thanks to Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, why not Hindu Economic Forum all over India and Hindustan Chamber of Commerce and all work together, find what are the archaic laws that need to be either abolished, cancelled, got rid of or modified, and submit a memorandum to the government and follow it up sincerely, because with your access, contacts and all that, I'm sure things will be heard and looked into, and ensure that we progress further from where we are already there.
Coming to Professor B.A. Devraya passed away recently. He was part of the World Hindu Economic Forum. He was heading the commission. He already submitted. There are 10,000 laws which need to be stuck in one pen. No need of parliament, But it's still pending. We need to work on this, We need to work on this. But first, and more important thing, what I want to do, I deliver a lecture in Surat, I told, unfortunately in this country, the wealth creator has become chore, This is how the media, this is how the even cinema, this is how the academia have portrayed, There is a study by Professor Dheeraj Sharma, who was professor of IIM Ahmedabad. He has studied from 1960 to 2010, almost 250 movies, But not, because Hindi belt, so he has studied the all Mumbai cinema, he told. How they create, a stereotype image. 62% corrupt businessman in Bollywood have a Baniya surname. 68% corrupt politician has a Brahmin surname. This This is how the stereotype created. 78% Sikh character in Bollywood is laughable like a joker. This is how we make joke on the Sikhs, And they are the descendants of the Guru who fought for us. And he told, even though Muslims, they are mafia in the movie, but they are portrayed as a very pious, namaz going, If you see the Bollywood, I don't know, the Bollywood is so wonderful. There is a Sole movie, now again is re-released. In the village where the Sole movie is happening, there is no electricity. No electricity. But Ajahn is happening from the mic, I don't know from where this technology has come. This is how our Bollywood is there. And once I will tell you, we had a meeting here in Tamil, Chennai, once about, because I run Hindu Media Forum. So we have a section of entertainment industry. So there they told me, I thought the 20-25 fellow will come because we don't have a presence here. 100 fellows came from the cinema industry. And they told Swami, you fellows are engrossed in your problem of your Bollywood. You don't know our problem here in Tamil Nadu. Even there is no demand of the story. We have to source some of the father in a very good way. Father means church, church father. Somewhere we have to show the church in a very good way. They are doing great work. And we are all billion. These are the things, stereotype is created in our narrative. Stereotype narrative comes like that. So we need to work on this. So I'm coming to the subject. So they have created, wealth creator narrative is very bad in Bharat. So I want to be now, सब लोग गाली देते हैं, अडानी, अंबानी, सब गाली, पप्पू भी गाली देता है ना. This is how is abusing. So I want to put board on highway. Wealth creator in this country, businessmen are not sure. They are wealth creator. They employment, they generate employment. They employment generator and they pay taxes. Only 3 lines that we need to highlight everywhere. Then unless I will tell you, I am a Sanskrit student. This Chettiar Sab, where the Chettiar Sab has come. Originally in the Sanskrit, which I mentioned in my book, original Sanskrit for businessman there is the word Sreshti. Sreshti means fine people. That Sreshti word in Hindi has become Srestha. The Sreshti word in Punjabi has become Seti. That Sreshti word in Rajasthan has become Sethji. The Sreshti word in Gujarat has become Seth. The Sreshti word in the Konkan, Karnataka belt has become Seti. That Sreshti word has become Tamil Nadu Chetty and Chettiar.
Hari Om. 2 questions. One of the biggest problems that we have here is the social divide between the rich and the poor, right? And obviously all the skew that's happening in society is because of the wealth divide. Do you think if taxation is paid by more people, will it neutralize accountability, will it bring in more accountability from the government? That's question 1. Question 2 is, what do you think will be the influence of artificial intelligence as is emerging today and in times to come? It's going to shape how we're going to touch lives.
See, one thing coming to the artificial intelligence, look, America compared to other, they are, from the tax point of view, they are honest. They are forced to become honest. They are not honest. They are forced to become honest because the use of technology, system, processes. In time will come here also, we will forced to become honest to pay the taxes. You cannot hide. Everything is digitalized, everything is recorded. You cannot hide.
Now it's digital economy.
Digital economy, so we cannot run away. Coming to the tax paying, see, this disparity is happening because of skewed law processes. Those who are powerful, they get hold of the policy framework. They work with the government bureaucracy, whatever system, and they make money. And large number of people become poor and poor. The divide is increasing in this country. That is not good for the country. C.K. Prahlad wrote, A Fortune at the Bottom of Pyramid. He told, don't see they are poor. See them, they are your market. First, strengthen them, increase their purchasing power, you will become benefited, So that system and process we have to bring, and we have to educate our business class also. We have to educate our bureaucracy. We have to educate our policy framework. See, mass prosperity should be produced in the country and everybody should become prosperous. Just by paying taxes is not going to happen. Everybody should be involved in the wealth generation, They should become part of that. What is happening now? Large number of people are left out from the wealth generation. Therefore, this poverty is happening. I don't want to tell you make any racist committee will say, Swamiji, Hindi belt ka aa gaya, hame gali de raha hai. I have traveled in Tamil Nadu and village in Tamil Nadu. I have seen poverty in Tamil Nadu is worse than UP and Bihar. You go in the village, villages are very, very poor. You cannot imagine, I have never seen people living in the village, they don't have land. They are living in the, what is called, a roadside. This never happened in a UP, Bihar, anywhere, they don't have their own home. That I have seen here in Tamil Nadu in village.
Swamiji, I have a question. Swamiji, how do you think the book is going to influence the younger generation? Say the students and all that, they are so much exposed to global ideologies, and very often we see that they are not rooted on the Indian, traditional Indian framework. What do you say?
See, from my side I did work, so there was no such book available, so it took some time for me to write. Now this book should reach to the masses, especially youth, a student. It is like people like you who study this, create a scholarship, or you can say competition, read this book, write an article on this. Once they will read, then only realize, because we are a huge country. We are not just a country, we are like a 1/6 of the global population. So magnitude is very big, So everybody has to participate, It is from my side, I did my part. I am continuing delivering lecture, But everybody should participate in this. So the knowledge should reach to the youth. Then once they will understand, then they will start realizing the value, and then we will start working for them.
Thank you.
Hari Om Swamiji. Actually, in India we don't have, we are not propagating or insisting that, failure as acceptance culture.
Yeah.
Failure as acceptance culture. And then risk, we are not very advocating the, calculated risk-taking, attitude actually. The third thing, risk capital in deep tech actually. These three things are, we are lagging behind, China and America. What is your opinion on that?
No, see the problem may be still follow the colonial education.
Sir,
That is the root cause of thing. I will tell you, I was in Sri Lanka once attending the graduation ceremony of the Christian college. The father told me in open convocation, the best students of my college are employed by my worst student. The best student, they lose their risk-taking capability, which I have mentioned in the book. What is the source of the wealth? Sattvam hi moolam arthasya. Risk-taking capability, the source of artha. So those who have become like educated, so-called educated, they become chartered accountant, clerk, manager, MBA. Those fellows who are high school, they become Reliance, Dhirubhai Ambani, Birlas, So we have to create that type of entrepreneurial spirit. But what is happening? We are creating British model of education, which is destroying our risk-taking capability. I always tell, I read one famous book, The Global World of Indian Merchant, And this is written by one French. These are all European fellows written about us. Claude Maroquet, so Hindu businessman challenged the European monopoly on trade and commerce. They created parallel chain of business line from Kobe in Japan to Panama in America. In this chain of line, Chettiar, Reddiyar, Mudaliyar, Punjabi, Bhatia, Sindhi, Gujarati were all playing important role in this chain. And each one was supporting each other, were area of influence. And remember, these were not very so-called IIT, MBA and this IM fellow. They were all, I don't know, even high school were they or not, But they were a smart, astute businessman. So that sense we have to bring in our society, which we are lacking right now.
You wonderfully mentioned time and again about education and knowledge, where the education is nothing but a paper. Knowledge has to be done. And wonderfully gave example of Dhirubhai Ambani and even Bill Gates for that matter. They have knowledge more than education. Whereas Indian system is more of education. Why, rather than getting into the knowledge part of it, where do you think the gap could be bridged? Because no use of having educated people. We need to have more knowledgeable people. How do you feel that gap?
I told you now, we have to remodel our education system. Our education system is not modeled on developing the risk-taking capability of the youth and the students, We all see when we were doing a study, always we were we'll go to some Boeing, we'll go to all the multinational, they are going to campus, and our postman in IIT, he used to come, Bhaiya, scholarship aa gaya hai, you are a scholarship. That is how we were trained. So we need to change this mindset. Look, as an educated person, we have to take the, that practical practical knowledge here, and that practical knowledge will come through when we need to develop our own internal society mechanism. We should not always depend on what is happening in the government. I don't know, it will take some years and years to change, but as a society we should start taking that initiative, Originally, see, they are Lohanas, Gujaratis from Kutch. Originally they are not businessmen. They have become business. They are Kshatriya fighter. They are descendants of Bhagavan Ram law. This is how they have trained, educated our society in their own way. Same way we have to educate our society in our own way. So this system of real education should be imparted. Not this certificate.
That's what he's saying. Certificate doesn't matter. What matters is knowledge how you gain it. He dropped out, but I'm just saying it's over.
Even his Steve Jobs also was the same fellow.
Same. In the Reed College, he dropped out.
The last question.
Chanakya once served as the guiding force for ethical governance, ethics, and statecraft. But over the period, it got better away and it has disappeared from the mainstream. I need from you, what is your point of view to bring it back to the limelight or to modernize, to captivate for today's age?
See, in this book I have brought Kautil Arthashastra, Chanakya, Mahabharat, Valmiki Ramayana, Sukrit Sar, all those I have placed here. Coming to the education system, Chanakya wrote main book, which is not Chanakya. Chanakya is a popular book, but more importantly, Kautil Arthashastra. Kautil Arthashastra is a very profound book. Chanakya Sutra is very important. These two should be educated and to every village. How Chanakya said, Sukha Simulam Dharma, in a very simple way. Sukha Simulam Dharma. What is the source of happiness? Dharma. Dharma is the source of happiness. What is the source of Dharma? Dharma Simulam Artha. Economy is the source of Dharma. I don't want to go in detail, otherwise it will take time. Dharma Simulam Artha. Artha Simulam Rajyam. How the wealth is generated, when the economic policy of the state is conducive for the wealth generation, then wealth generation is happening. Dharma Simulam Rajya Simulam Indriya Jaya. How this will happen? When the administrator, minister of the state are non-corrupt, Indriya Jaya, they are not greedy. This will happen, So all those things is there, but we need to follow and implement in our system. Anything which is all ancient word discard, this is not a good thing, Sri Aurobindo once wrote, country whose young men are inspired by glory of past. Pain of present means do hard work and dream for the future, move on path of progress.
Swamiji, I'll explain. Two Tirukurans. The first one is those who don't have money, they can't survive in this world. You need a true grace for the next world. But in the next one, what he's saying, very useful. I've seen a lot of big men like this. People are not of substance. They are made by substance. They're made into substance by what? Only money can make him a man of substance. And we would like your comments on the same.
See, here also I have mentioned.
Yeah, Arul da mukhya da. Arul da solra. He's talking about divine. Divine intervention. Providence is what is the most important thing. What Arul says.
That is, I'm not challenging that part, but what is important? Here also I have mentioned the same thing because Mrita tu adhanamara. Daridram khalu purushasya jivitam. People who do not possess wealth often struggle to thrive in the society, feeling as if they are like a walking dead, Same thing is here also. Same thing is also here. Very clear, but they are telling society as a whole, we are people, we help them, everybody, to come up, we should not discard them, everything we should not talk about, what will happen in the after death, the bhagyam, all those things. As a society, this is our responsibility to bring everybody to this level. See, here I have mentioned here, In absence of wealth, I deliver lecture in the business school. I say many of you students who are more intelligent than Mukesh Ambani. But Mukesh Ambani has capital wealth to back his intelligence. You don't have that much wealth to back your intelligence. In absence of wealth, all the persons undertaking an action are hindered, and without wealth, their intelligence diminishes. This is akin to how a small river dries up during summer due to insufficient rainfall. So wealth is very important.
I now request Shri Ashok Thakur, former President, Hindustan Chamber of Commerce, to honor Swamiji with the Ponnadai.